That's me eating an egg on toast, mate. Deal with that. Ah. Oh. I was thinking about getting dressed, like in my suit, ready to go to the airport, but I might just do the stream quick in my pajamas. It's only going to be a quickie. It's only going to be a little quickie stream. Oh, I probably want my glasses. Where are they? Oh, that's annoying. They're new. I thought you could get away from me, you little... little glass bitches. Hey! Oh, I've blinded myself. That's perfect, though. That's how it should be. Hello, how's everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope the mass panic sweeping the world has not affected you. If you'd like to ask any questions about me, myself, Irene, or, you know, Star Citizen, or whatever, feel free to question in brackets to allow me to pick it out from what I assume is a smaller pile of questions this time. So I wouldn't normally stream at 10 AM in the morning for me. This is prime research and video making script time. Sort of planning what I'm doing throughout the week and getting videos done. But I am off in a minute to the airport, going to my mate's hen party. It's a hen do. It's a bro do. It's one of my best mates, Kit. He's getting married to the lovely Adam, who is genuinely a great human being. Kit is a greater human being. And I'm going to be seeing Zin, who's going to be working for me soon, and DC, partner, and G and Zen, and lots of other people, but some of which have a cold, which is probably not the best thing to have at the moment. No, it's just a cold. You fucking... I made people that I'm meeting this weekend phone up the NHS to make sure they were safe to meet other people. And the reason I did that is because my dad is effectively recovering from cancer and has respiratory problems. So, the virus stuff that's going around, I don't want to name it specifically, it's named after a light beer. The reason I'm not Voldemorting it, well, I am sort of, but it's more YouTube algorithmy. Yeah, it's obviously a respiratory disease, and it's much more dangerous to my parents, who I'm looking after, well, my dad I'm looking after. But yeah, so I was worried about that. Not so much of a mass panic. There's no panic in this country in the way that people are mass buying food or anything. Toilet rolls, yeah, toilet rolls take up a lot of shelf space. Okay, that's the reason for that. They take up a lot of shelf space and warehouse space, and are pretty ineffective at making money for the companies that make them. So supermarkets have an idea of how much they're going to sell and might stock twice that amount. When people buy 4 times that amount, there's none of that on the shelves, so you don't have to have that much panic buying. Before certain things go out of stock, panic buying. My mother bought a lot of hand sanitizer, but she did that ages ago. She was just like that anyway. But yeah, so I hope everyone is doing okay. Hope no one's terribly worried. Just sort of like be safe, sensible, and, you know, for the most part, go about your daily lives with a little bit more sort of washing your hands. You filthy apes. Anyway, the Prowler. So we'll have a look at the Prowler in a second, because although it's not probably one of my favourite ships, I do like it. I love the idea for it, and it's the first ship we've had for the Tavaran, so I sort of love it for that. The internals of it, I think it's a beautiful ship. I love it visually. I don't love it on paper so much, mainly because I suppose the people that really love them fantasize about piloting them for their people that they're dropping, whereas I fantasize more about being one of the people in the dropship briefly while it gets to the target. Well, so the thing is that if you're a dropship pilot, and you're a great dropship pilot, especially in the Prowler, is that you're going to be avoiding combat and getting there without a hitch, undetected. So that might be quite tense for you, but for your crew, they're just all still in there, just going, yeah, he's good. We don't have to worry about anything. We just get to the ground, bam. It's like those. For me, as a Marine, it will be about being under fire, getting out just perfectly, getting in and getting out while under fire, and terrified that I'm going to die, but surviving. I think that's the cool thing there. But again, if you're a really good dropship pilot, I suppose people don't see you. I mean, obviously you'll come into hot zones sometimes. You'll be like, evac these guys, they're under fire. That's pretty cool. So the Prowler was $425 when it was last on sale. I just checked it out on the ship upgrade system thing. If you ever want to check to see how much a ship was the most recent time it was on sale, and if it's gone up currently, go on the ship upgrades section. Let me show you. If you go to ship upgrades, you can then see you want to change from my ships to all ships, and then you can literally see every ship that's available. Well, that's that's ever been sold that could potentially have an upgrade, including the Idris P. Not the Idris M, though. Not every ship that's ever been sold, but most ships. Unless the Idris M is actually lower value. Okay, no. It's most ships, including like limited edition stuff, because you want to be able to buy an upgrade for it, if you want to. We can see for the Prowler, it's $425. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get one myself with money. I probably won't. I'll be flying it around in Evocati and PTU, and then Imperator, all that sort of stuff, which is good. Yeah. I'm expecting potentially a free fly for 3.9 going live. That sort of makes sense with what CIG are trying to do. Depends how stable the build is for the live build. I had it from authority from a few different people that I know of, that CIG have been trying to get an Evocati build into our hands from last week, and there's been blockers for that. That's what I've heard, but you have to treat that as a rumor, because I have no way of 100% verifying that. But I would expect, I remember I did expect it last week as well, but I would expect Evocati to go to 3.9 Evocati later today, if not tomorrow. But again, if there's some sort of blocker there, maybe it's going to get delayed further. But I would doubt it at this stage, even if there are bad Evocati problems that could prevent testing to the level they want. They'd still release it and say, look, avoid these things, go test this. But yeah, so very, very excited for the Prowler, just because I like the look of it. We can bring it up on screen, actually, in a bit more looky. Do this. Got this beautiful face. So this is the inside of the Prowler in the rear drop pod section, which is so basically it's on two levels, the ship. The lower level is the main level. It's most of the ship, and then at the front you also have another sort of cockpit and slash component room up there. But there's two pilot stations at the front of the ship. But at the rear of the ship, you've got the 12 people drop pod section, and then that goes on to another little section towards the cockpit, where there's another 4 seats. So you've got 16 people basically that can have a little seaty poos. The lighting conditions you're seeing here are when the ship is just been spawned. It's not been turned on. It's not activated yet. So it's sort of like got the auxiliary lighting. So that's the not elevator, the ladder up, and that's the cockpit. So one of the amazing things about the ship, I quite like the red look. I like it when it's actually turned on more, to be honest. I quite like the sort of like metal forest as they described it, but it's like a nest. It's like a nest in a tree. It's supposed to be because, Tavaran are effectively birds. So you go up that ladder, and then you've got the cockpit at the top, and that's the sort of like main cockpit, and you've got your components as well behind, and they're still working out exactly what components. Now, the interesting thing was, though, you've got the externals of the ship, which looks cool, 2 size 5 weapons, I think that's pretty big and nice. 2 size 3 weapons on a remote turret at the top. But no way for the pilot to see out. Well, and that's because the ship is nice and armoured, which is an interesting one. So it's got shields and armour. It's sort of like a Tavaran reproduction. So if you let's go here. So this is the cockpit. When you turn it on, boop, beep. Basically, you can see out, but people can't see in. That's the idea. I think it's like supposed to be like either one-way clever metal, or cameras, or projectors, or screens, whatever. I think it's supposed to be screens or projectors, because that's sort of what they said inside Star Citizen. But I mean, it looks like it kind of looks like it could all be LCD monitors. Do you know what I mean? But I really like that idea. It's got a little... the dashboard sort of like moves with the joystick. And the idea of it is that because it's a bit alien, it's a slightly different way of controlling it, which is a single stick that moves around. It's kind of irrelevant beyond the animations look cool. What else do we have? More of the... So this is the proper lighting state now. Very glowy. Very glowy. Oh, thank you very much, Toy Gruben. Appreciated. Because I never see you this early in the morning. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Thank you so much for the raid. Very much appreciated. So going back downstairs, you can see the rest of the ship with the updated light state. So now that it's on, a lot brighter. It's still very red. Now, I've got blue light filter on my glasses. There is nothing that changes when I take them off with the ship because it's so red. And typically when I look at anything else, it looks more yellow. But there's no change there because there's not enough blue light coming into my eyes anyway. But I really like the idea here. They've got air shields on all the doors as well. So any door that's exposed to, could be exposed to vacuum has an air shield, which basically just means the ship doesn't depressurize and you can freely move through those air shields. As long as you can reach the door, obviously. The side doors, if the ship is landed, they're going to be hard to reach. But the rear door and rear ramp does have a ramp. And I'm thinking that maybe you could get a ranger or even, yeah, probably a ranger or something in the back of the ship. In the ship. Maybe not properly. We'll have to wait and see, I think, for all of this stuff. It's supposed to be an EVA / drop ship for peoples to run out with. And that's what the sort of like the hover / landing mode with the wings down. The wings acting as landing gear there, but also cover and protection for the people that are running out and using it as a drop ship. You've got the rear of the ship. Let's actually bring up the... I think he turns on the lights in a second. Yeah, he turns on the lights here. You can see the textures a little bit better here. See those air shield doors. There's 8 of those doors on the side, but there's also the ramp and another side door with a ladder towards the front. I really like the way that opens up. That rear door, that rear ramp. That is really fucking cool. And maybe you wouldn't be able to store a ranger in there because of the way it opens up and closes down. It's certainly not designed to take a ground vehicle. But I love it. I think it looks amazing. Oh, it's Disco Lando space. But yes, I hope people are excited about the Prowler like I am. I mean, excited to an extent. It's not a new gameplay loop or anything. It's a cool new ship that's not going to have much function in 3.9 beyond people making their own gameplay with it. But you know, people like Rexilla and stuff make those ships look really fun, and Terradar and people, I'm sure they do beautiful things with them. Morphologists will... I'm really looking forward to Morphologists' architect reviews of the Prowler, because it's really alien. And I'm interested to go whether he goes, it's beautiful, or if he goes, doesn't make any sense architecturally. Not that anything makes sense architecturally with modern architecture with me anyway. I need to change the interior lighting to amber. Red is too vandal looking. That is a very good point. Red is very vandal looking. Yeah, ambers would have been probably a better idea. Quite genuinely. I like that, because then it's sort of like you're getting the sunrise, sunset, sunlight coming through a forest. I see what you mean. They probably looked at amber and stuff. Hopefully we'll see some thoughts on that. Yeah, I genuinely see what you mean with that. I genuinely think amber would have been a better idea. But fastest ramp in the West. Yeah, the way that rear ramp opens is mad. He's good with human architecture, not alien. That's true. However, that is human architecture. No, number one, it's reproduction of Devaran ship. Number two, the Devaran aren't real. They are made by humans, and the architecture is, well, let's do something alien. But humans do that anyway with architecture. They try and make something unique sometimes, or look a bit weird, whatever. So it is human architecture still. I know you were sort of making a more funny point, but fuck you. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm in a mean mood. I didn't mean to be. I hate travelling. Okay, I hate travelling. Gotta get a plane up to Leeds, Bradford. And I'm travelling during a time when everyone is panicked. Well, not everyone, obviously. That's an exaggeration. An exaggeration. What have we got? Oh no, I've lost. I just sold a Prowler on Reddit, and have one more if anyone wants one. Rubid, you're more than welcome. Try not to... okay. I'm not sure how I feel about that being advertised on YouTube videos, just because I don't like people having to leave the platform for... Feel free to put it on my Discord. I'll have a section for Star Citizen Trades or something on the Discord, and then I can turn it off if it ever becomes black market sort of thing. I don't really care too much about it, as long as it's grey market, not black market stuff. And I'm aware that you are a genuine trader, so... This channel is the reason I ever took the plunge into Star Citizen. Gotta say, I've had a blast with friends on it. People complain about dev time and scope of the game, but it's truly groundbreaking. Well, let's hope so when it's finished. I mean, the alpha is amazing. For an alpha, especially. It's odd, though. The development is unique and odd and a bit frustrating at times. But I mean, if you take I'm aware that Star Citizen is going to take a long time to develop and complete still. And they are doing a playable alpha, and you can get involved with that as a project now, and you keep that in mind. And some people are going to be better suited to be just tourists. Some people are going to love to play now as long as they're in an organisation. They can get hundreds of thousands of hours. Some people are just going to want to keep on coming back every time there's a major update, and then giving a mixture of critical and I love it feedback. So there's no right way of consuming Star Citizen, and I think a lot of criticism and praise is valid, but we need to wait until there's a full game before we treat it as a proper game beyond this sort of like... we're volunteer. If you play Star Citizen a lot, we're volunteer QAs. We are trying to give our feedback on stuff, give our opinions on stuff. How much was the Prowler when it went on sale? $425. I would expect it to be $425 again, to be honest. I can't see them justifying raising its price, because although it's a cool ship, it's, I mean, maybe $450. Maybe they'll raise it by $25, but, you know. The Mass Bank just got worse. Who made my logo for me? So the one I'm using... I'm not sure if it was made by T or Zin. One of them. I'm really sorry I can't remember which one of you it is. But I will ask you when I see you later today. I don't know if it was G or Zin. I think they sort of both made it. Because it was an evolution of I want a simple logo with a Lego man face. It's basically what I said with the original pitch. And then evolved it so it didn't look too much like it. Because I don't want it to be... encroaching on any IPs or anything, and I was like, just simpler the better. I'm not very arty, but I like simplicity in art and logos and things. Larry K, I'll find out who did it, but both Zin, who's going to be working for me, and G, who does work for me occasionally as one of my best mates, if you need them to do any work, I can carry them to you, and you talk to them directly rather than me. Thoughts on the Prowler? Really like the look of it. Need it in my hands really before I can tell you how much I like it. But the idea of it is it's supposed to be a stealthy, well armored, focused dropship. And if it's agile and works really well in atmosphere and flying around the verse, then I'm going to be pretty excited for it. However, in 3.9 we're not going to have that much in the way of boarding. We'll have a little bit more. I mean, we've got like the Caterpillar prison transport mission. If you bring one of those to it, or the 890 jump mission, if you bring one of the Prowlers to it, and have got a load of Marines in it, you're going to be able to wreck those missions. Just, that's the sound of wrecking people. What's your take on the survival mechanics and Spectrum Hysteria since the announcement? So typically, with hysteria of anything or opinions on Star Citizen with mechanics, we've known that light survival mechanics with Star Citizen were coming for a long time. And this is basically just light survival mechanics. Unless, when it's in our hands, it's really, really, really invasive and horrible. Or it is more aggressive than it says. Like, if I'm having to eat every hour and drink every hour, I'll probably be a little annoyed if it's disrupting my sort of game session. But if it's like once every 4 hours, I'm not really going to care too much. And if it's I don't eat once every 4 hours, then in 8 hours' time I starve. Well, I'll probably be okay with that. So, because I should probably go and eat in real life during that time as well. And so as long as it's sort of like tied to that, I actually think you'll get a healthier game experience overall from it, because people will remember to eat themselves. That's sort of that's a hope and dream rather than what will happen. But that's my opinion. You asked for my opinion. See, I don't want to have constant inventory management. I don't want No Man's Sky. I don't want to have to constantly eat or worry about nom-noms constantly. Like, got a little bit of food on my ship, great. I've got a candy bar and a bottle of water on me, great. That's enough for me to be out for 4 to 6 hours or whatever without having to think. Perfect. The Prowler is coming with 3.9. 3.9 is coming at the end of this month, live, and we should see like an Evocati build, and then PTU build, first wave, in the very near future. I would expect Evocati. Remember, I did say this last week as well. I expected it last week, but I would expect Evocati for this weekend, today, tomorrow, sort of thing, and then first wave PTU probably next week. But it's just going to depend on the the end of next week if we're lucky. Depends on how many blockers there are. I'm looking forward to prison gameplay as well. Prisons, I think, are going to be a huge part of my content for 3.9. I'm looking forward to that. So the friends list is getting unified and updated as well. So you can look forward to that. Should be easier to add people and all that sort of jazz as well. When we talk about the survival mechanics and people talking about them, like, some people are going to take the idea, some people are going to like the idea, a lot of people are misinformed, and a lot of people are misinformed, including myself to a degree, because we haven't actually tried it and used it yet. So we're using the information we have at our disposal to make those decisions, and we can't really without trying it. And we can have some opinions on it, we can talk about it, as long as people remain civil. I really like CIG's AMAs that they do on Spectrum. Like, I know a couple of people got annoyed at me. I asked loads of questions, but I can deal with it. I will follow the rules. If you don't like following the rules, well, how about you fuck off? Think about that. Yeah? Let's show you. So there's this Spectrum AMA. And they seem to be doing these like at least once a month at the moment, but I'd like to see like once every 2 weeks would be great. Actually, maybe it is once every 2 weeks. But player status system AMA. So this was talking about the light survival mechanics. Bear with me. I'm catching a plane in a couple of hours, so I need to be at the airport and sign in and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I really like this. So, basically, half an hour before the EMA started, which was 4 p.m. on Wednesday, they opened up this thread. They said, ask one question per post, and ask any questions you want, sort of thing. So, I asked 13 questions, 12 questions, 13 questions, and most of my questions got answered. Oh, this is someone defending me. I appreciate people defending me online and stuff, but don't need to. Like, I'm a big boy, and I don't want people to sort of like pitchfork or witch hunt or anything like that. And it's just, don't worry, I am complaining, but I'm not complaining. But yeah, so loads of quick questions here from lots of different people. But I really, really, really liked the fact that CIG, they had 3 devs just answering questions, going through this for an hour. answering loads of people's questions, and I thought that was really, really, really good, really interesting. I want to see more and more of that from CIG. But thank you very much for CIG to answering some of my questions. The reason I was able to ask a load of questions pretty easily and they got answered is because I effectively had them pre-written for the AMA and they were from my notes. So it's literally stuff that I don't know that CIG haven't talked about or fully elaborated on, that other people have asked in other videos and stuff that I've then made into the most sensible question I can ask CIG. So and that's why so many of them got answered. Some people got grumpy at me. It's fine. You can get grumpy. Do you even bother to read other replies? Or are you just spamming? So this was someone that read my question 3 hours after it had been posted and the AMA had already finished. And I asked them before anyone else's questions, so it annoys me. It annoys me. People trying to troll me. Or maybe they're not. I don't know. But yeah, more AMAs from CIG. I want them. I posted the lighting change recommendations in Spectrum. So, Steve, I would back you all the way on changing those to amber. As long as that doesn't like. There might be more of a reason for it on the style guide that we're not aware of. Like they've gone, actually, we really want the Tavaran to be red, and maybe it's supposed to be similar to the Vandal for some reason. Maybe the Tavaran stole Vandal tech. Maybe the Vandal stole Tavaran tech in the past. Do you think that the bounty hunting will improve as surrendering becomes a thing? So yeah, surrendering is not in 3.9 anymore. It's going to be in 4.0 probably. I think that surrendering is part of bounty hunting and the lore system, and to other players in general being able to surrender and go, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm a role player. Okay, don't kill me. I think it's a cool feature, but you need lots of other gameplay mechanics to support bounty hunting and piracy and the lore systems and stuff. Not just that. I think it will help. But yeah, and expect in the not too distant future when they have more bounty hunting stuff, you'll be able to stun and less than lethal people. So obviously you can punch people now. But there'll be like less than lethal ammo and less than lethal takedowns and stuff like that as well. But those people are effectively still comatose. You know what I mean? They're still going to be dragged around. You just might have a mission in the shorter term, bring this guy in alive. That's probably going to be more NPC based. So we expect typical bounties against players would be dead or alive, but we'll see how that changes. Steve, if you send me that link on Discord or something, I'll upvote it as well. I'll read it then upvote it. make sure I agree with it. Always make sure you agree with something before you do it. 3.9 is the next big release, which should be arriving soon. But what's your hopes for updates following 3.9? Okay, so later this year, I want to see the priority system. I want to see dynamic economy / dynamic mission system. Just the first stage, that's fine. Improvements to SOCs and the network code. Hopefully supporting more players on servers, but just generally getting the service frame rate to a minimum of 30 consistently and constantly. What else would I like to see? Pyro jump points. Salvage gameplay is probably one of the big ones for me. There's quite a lot that I think they can get this year. Physicalized components, physicalized inventory, and the physical damage system. Full persistence to an extent. So we're not going to get server meshing unless they make genuine sort of like strides. We're not going to see server meshing this year. We'll see work on server meshing. We'll see optimizations moving towards server meshing. They sort of said that they expect, at the very least, to be near to completion for server meshing by the end of this year. So I would expect first implementation of server meshing Q1, Q2, probably Q2 next year. iCache soon as well. Yeah, that's part of full persistence. Super important. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool core features that are coming to Star Citizen the game needs. Although I've left one of my... okay, cool. Do you have any ETA on the Redeemer? None at all. I would hope to see it this year, the Redeemer. I would expect to see it this year. But it's been AFK for a while and CIG are not talking about it. Cutlass Blue and Hercules C2 both taken from the roadmap, but we're still seeing a lot of development footage. What's going on? They just don't know exactly where to put it at the moment. So, I mean, it's possible you'd see the Cutlass Blue in 3.9 if it's ready. However, the Cutlass Blue looks like it's going to be ready for 4.0, and the Hercules C2 probably for 4.1 would be my expectation there. But they move stuff off the roadmap sometimes because they're like, we'll work out where that's going to be later. We're working on it now, so it's probably going to be this patch or this patch sort of thing. They sort of roughly know where it's going to be, but they don't want to show us because they're worried that we'll then be like disappointed when it doesn't happen. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the love. I really like the look of the Prowler. Is there a version in-game now, or is this coming soon? Coming soon. So the Prowler potentially could be in Ivacardi's hands later today sort of thing, and then in your hands with 3.9 live by the end of this month. So there might be some additions and changes to it. I do like the look of the Prowler. I think it's very alien, appropriately alien. Hey, but I know you're a fan of Apex. Have you tried the new COD Warzone Battle Royale or whatever? I haven't tried Warzone yet. I've got it installed. I wanted to try it this week, but I've been super busy with life and looking after parents and stuff who are panicking. But I'm going away for a hen do in a minute, or a hen party. I'm going to make this stream pretty short. I sort of like wanted to update people on I'm going to be away until Sunday, and I'll bring my tablet with me, so I'll try and keep in contact with people on social media and stuff, and post stuff if necessary. But for this weekend, I would expect, hopefully, see the Ivacardi release. I'm sure you'll be interested in all the leaks that'll appear on Reddit, that I can't talk about anyway. I just want buffs and debuffs. You don't want food and drink to kill you. I think that's a potential as well. I think that I don't want food and drink, lack of food and drink to kill you. As well, I think that really, 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 really hamper your stamina and vision and stuff until you get it sorted, maybe. But I need to have the system in my hands and play around with it, because it's very possible that it'll be like, I occasionally remember to eat. Same way I need to refuel my ship, go and eat quick. Because in the future, especially when you have cargo and stuff, you're going to go to cargo decks. You're going to have to get your cargo when you buy it or when you sell it. It's going to take time to load it or unload it onto your ship, things like that. And that's the sort of time they want people to go into a space station, shop, and buy food and all that sort of stuff. I don't think $425 is worth it for the Prowler. I think that a lot of these ships are super expensive and you can just get them in game. They are beautiful things and they help support development. And if you've got the spare income and love the ship and you're like, yeah, just buy a ship, cool, then buy it. But I'm a very thrifty individual. Yeah, so lots of fixes coming in 3.9. So they've apparently tried to, or at least, or they've basically said that they should have fixed desync with 3.9. That is the major problem we need fixed, in my opinion. Will ships get separated, grouped? Will ships get a separate door/ramp operation buttons at the bridge instead of the open close buttons? For example, a button in the Prowler to open all side doors but not the ramp. Don't know. I haven't talked about that. I would like that functionality though. I'd like the ability for the pilot to go beep, and it opens with the side doors. That would be pretty cool, in fact. How do you think the volatility of quantum ore will affect the areas where it can be sold or refined? Would people hang around them waiting to shoot everyone they see out the sky? Well, maybe, but there's obviously law systems in place there that would mean that there's turrets shooting you and that there's security forces engaging you if you're doing that. So bear that in mind. If you're attacking people who are trying to quantum ore around, then you're going to get in trouble with the law. I do expect that when 3.9 goes live, people will certainly be going beep beep, just giving people a couple of love taps to see if they explode from when they're clearly carrying quantum ore. It's another interesting thing is that we need refineries in game really, because we need a safer location to bring something that's quite volatile potentially. You don't want to be moving explosive materials around a civilian like dock. You want a specialized facility for that. You see what I mean? I really like the idea of Quantanium. I like the idea of volatile cargo to an extent, but it depends on how it's tweaked. If it's sort of like, it's really hard to get quantum ore anywhere, that's not that appropriate. Any details on the St. Patrick's Day sales operations? No, but I would expect like the Phoenix Emerald and some green ships/vehicles. Have they talked at all about the player credit training? A friend just got a mole, and the whole group was disappointed with the current, and I say loosely, training system. Well, they've got a dynamic economy and proper economy in the future. At the moment, it's sort of like placeholder, the economy. Don't know what to tell you other than I'm also disappointed in the economy in Star Citizen currently, because it doesn't really have one beyond the static nature of it. Which is a little bit meh. Even like when we had Jump Town and the sort of like emergent gameplay that came from there of having a hot zone which people wanted to trade to and from, that was really good, and they sort of removed that in favour of testing some other bits, and they're trying to potentially bring some of that back in 3.9. They want mining routes and trade routes to develop and change, but I don't think we're going to see the likes of Jump Town for a little while longer. If Bad Rammer taps you, they take out the entire Port Olisar. Oh, Jock Cobb, thank you so much. I love it when people give me money. You fucking legend. I love the Prowler. Who doesn't love a special ops dropship, but too pricey for what it is? Definitely going to buy one in game for me. Yes. Same here. It's my chief mod Huntress's favourite ship. However, it is too expensive in my opinion by far. That's definitely on our getting game. Well, maybe I won't even get. I need to see it first. I like it. I just don't love it from my needs. Do you know what I mean? Note. Will bounty hunters send people to prison when they complete a mission successfully, or is that solely NPC cops that can do this? In the short term, NPC cops, but in the future, it will be bounty hunters as well, as far as I understand it. Do you think modularity is still going to be a thing? Yes. I would hope that we'd start to see some modularity this year. We are seeing mining consumables in 3.9, which are effectively sub-items and sub-components for mining lasers. That is kind of step towards that. Eventually, we will have the modularity for rumors being able to change large sections of ships and stuff out for other bits. So you will have the Caterpillar, lots of different modules that you can have fit in there. Now I recognise your voice. I make YouTube videos. I do. Do you think this whole Corona thing will affect ship sales due to economic losses? Yes. Don't know how much, but it will affect them. Everything affects everything else. So, I think that the CIG studios will be relatively calm and reasonable, pretty sensible. So I've got friends that work in them, and they've said that just sort of like be sensible, careful. If you're sick, sort of like don't come in. Wash your hands. If you've got a if you need to cough or sneeze, do it into your elbow, things like that, to sort of make people aware that you're making an effort to wash your hands, clean everything, not be an idiot, and don't come into work if you're ill. The UK have been really good with it, or at least that's what it looks like. We'll have to wait and see whether it's the correct idea from the UK government, but I think it is. But what do I fucking know? Can you do a board game in-game event? I'd love to take part. 3.9 desync's fixed. Yes, we'll do lots of that. So this is the Squadron 42 vertical slice that I've chucked on while I chat. I am going to dash off in a second because I need to catch a plane and I need to get dressed first. I need to make sure my bag is fully packed. But I will be away until Sunday. Hopefully you guys will have the Evocali build for later today or tomorrow. Hopefully there'll be some interesting stuff on the roadmap and some cool other little updates. What is this week on... where's this week in Stars? Where's my stuff? Yeah, this... What have I got for Friday? So we've got Calling All Devs this Friday. I think Calling All Devs is going to be a video on YouTube. Probably longer form than we previously had with Calling All Devs. So that's going to be cool. No Star Citizen Live this week. I'm hoping that they decide to do Star Citizen Live and Calling All Devs. Like just do Star Citizen Live every week, have Calling All Devs once a fortnight or something. But that's looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with Calling All Devs because they're going to edit it a bit. That's what it seemed like. I've been playing Wolfson a lot. I used to play Path of Exile when it was backed on Kickstarter or something. I've got a little dodo, a little golden dodo that follows me. But I stopped playing that when they released Keeper of Souls, whatever it was called, for the Diablo 3 expansion, and then I started playing that a load. I haven't really gone back to Path of Exile, but then I played a load of Wolfson. There's too many bugs with Wolfson, so I played it for like 30 or 40 hours Wilson, and then I went, it's just so buggy. So I'm waiting for Wilson to get some updates and patches. Thanks for asking my questions. Really made my day. Keep on making awesome videos. Oh, no worries at all. Thank you very much for leaving questions. That's questions and feedback are how I run my channel. It's super important to me. It allows me to make better content, or at least constant content. Yeah, wash your hands. Don't pick your nose and eat it, you buggers. Totally agree. Did they ever mention why they pushed the economy system from the roadmap? They're working out where it's going to land due to other priorities and it taking a longer time. I would expect to still see it this year. And salvage. Can we stop freaking about the virus? I think I hope that people are pretty reasonable about it. Just be a bit safer, be a bit more sensible, sort of like be a bit aware. That's all. It's more a worry if you're immunocompromised or you have people you look after. My dad's recovering from cancer. He has respiratory problems. He's not going to do well with that. So I've got to be careful because I look after him. So you see what I mean? So it's different for different people, but yeah, indeed. Don't panic. That's never going to help. Just be, safe, sensible, and chill. I think that's a fair thing to say. Don't need to panic buy. We're in no danger of losing food. Always get your groceries delivered. People panic buying are the reason that we don't have toilet rolls and random things in shops at the moment because they're idiots. That's genuinely, in my opinion, anyway. No problem having a little bit of extra stock, but when you're buying all of the toilet rolls. Okay, I don't know. I'm not going to take up to your money. I got 40,000 rec. So rec is spent in Star Marine and Arena Commander rather than the persistent universe. So it's not spent in the persistent universe. Use it to rent gear and equipment. Right. I am going to dash off because I need to catch a plane. if you've got any feedback, or you want to chat at any point, you can come onto my Discord, you can message me, you can email me at contact@boardgamer.co.uk. I will be back on Sunday. I'll try and get a video out on Sunday. I love your faces a lot. I am going to be building a fort out of hand sanitizer and toilet rolls. Just put it in the windows so that my neighbours know that I'm more sensible than them. And thanks very much for watching. Very much appreciated. I am going to go and host someone else because Toy Grubin hosted me, and I might as well pass it on to someone else as the sensible and kind thing to do. We'll drop it to the Dark Claw. He's a good chap. Slash raid. Oh no, that's a dot. Slash raid. The Dark Claw. Perfect. Bam. Bam. Give this man some love. Or don't. It's up to you. Thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciated. Yeah, I'll be safe and sensible. Don't worry. And yeah, remain calm. Remain safe. Don't do anything stupid. Don't panic. No need to panic. You're almost certainly going to be totally fine. At least in my opinion. Just, you know, don't be idiotic. Don't know why I'm giving you that advice. I'm a bloody idiot. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Love you guys very much. See you soon. Peace.